Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticcing Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette syndrome. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how important words are and how words really do matter when talking about literally anything in the world. But this video is specifically dedicated to how words matter when talking about Tourette syndrome and tic disorders. Different, weird, odd, quirky. These are all words that I've been told when people describe my Tourette syndrome to me. And honestly, these words are not the best in their connotations. They're not ideal. And I think it's genuinely important to talk about this because when I was first diagnosed at 12 years old, it was a struggle to be told all of these kind of negative words about my disorder. Words matter. Right from the get-go, I was told by my therapists, my psychiatrists, my doctors, literally anyone who was dealing with my Tourette syndrome diagnosis, I was told by them that I was different. I was told by them, hey Carly, have you always felt different? Like, are you different? Different. That was the word of the decade for me. Everyone was always just like, oh, you have Tourette's, so you're different. And this wasn't just people, this wasn't just people who were not professionals. Like, this was genuinely medical professionals, therapists, like all kinds of really big, important people who would lead to my diagnosis and who would lead to me getting the best help that I needed. I remember my one therapist was like, in our first meeting when she found out that I had Tourette's, she was like, so have you always been different? Have you always felt odd? Have you always felt weird? And although I totally agreed with this, I kind of thought it was a really weird way to introduce me to her therapy sessions. Like being told straight up, like, hey, you're different, you're weird, you're odd, you're unique. It was not ideal. And this is why, I want to talk about why words matter when dealing with anything like Tourette syndrome, other neurological disorders, other disabilities, other mental illnesses, anything like that. Like, words matter when talking about it. So as I said right at the beginning, I was told that I was different, I was weird, I was odd, I was quirky, I was unique. And I think that these people were genuinely trying to be like, hey, this is what makes you you. And I totally agree. I totally agree that Tourette's does make me different, but the connotation they used it in was a little bit iffy for me. Like, although it does make me different, it does make me a little bit weird, it does make me a little bit odd, there are a lot of other words you could use instead of just saying, hey, you're different, hey, you're weird, you know? And so this is why I wanted to talk about words mattering. Because as a young 12-year-old being told, hey, you're gonna be different for the rest of your life, that's super intimidating. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there watching this have also experienced that. And so being told right when you're 12, like, hey, this is your future, you are different, you are odd, you are quirky, that honestly sets you up for, like, I don't want to say failure, but it sets you up for being less confident, having self-esteem issues, and not being the full you can possibly be. And I don't mean to sound like some self-help professional, but I genuinely believe that these professional people telling people with Tourette's that you're different, you're different, like, different is the new normal. And I know that's not my quote, but it is true. Different is the new normal, and everyone is different. But going into a meeting where they're like, yeah, you're different, it makes you feel less than. It makes you feel like, what the heck? Like, what's wrong with me? And it makes you think there is something wrong with you. Because when I was told I was different, I was automatically like, there's something wrong with me. I'm not normal. And as I just said, different is the new normal. No one is normal out there, guys. Literally no one. And so I wanted to make that clear when talking about connotations and different words to describe different things. I was also told by a ton of people, like, I can't even tell you how many people, that I am weird. And although now I'm trying to embrace it, like, yeah, I can be weird sometimes, I feel like the connotation for weird isn't always the nicest. And so people have said, like, Tourette's is weird. Tourette's is weird, Tourette's is weird. And although not everyone has to deal with it, it doesn't make me weird. It's just a neurological condition. And I kind of wish that people would just be like, hey, this is literally a neurological condition. It is not something that makes you inherently weird. It's just a part of you. Like, would you go and say that someone who has diabetes is weird? Would you say that someone who has asthma is weird? Like, these are conditions that people deal with, and your doctor wouldn't just be like, hi, congratulations, you have diabetes and that makes you weird, that makes you different, that makes you quirky. And why is it different with Tourette syndrome and tic disorders? Like, what gives people the right to be like, yeah, you're different, you're weird, you're quirky? And I just kind of wanted to address this because it's been a big thing in my life, words mattering and using the correct words when talking about Tourette's and basically anything else in the world. So if you're out there with a tic disorder or Tourette's, or you're completely just watching this for the heck of it, try to consider what you're saying. Like, try to consider your words when describing certain things, because I started to do it. I know that in some of my videos I have said that tics are weird, and when I say this, the connotation isn't in a negative way. Like, my tics are a little bit different, as I mentioned, the word different again. They make me unique, again, the word unique, but these words are in a positive light. Like, I'm owning it. And I think that's important because these therapists, these psychologists, they were just blunt about it, saying, yeah, you're different. You're gonna have a hard time making friends. You're gonna just have a rough life. And that was not what I wanted to hear, especially at 12. I'm 22 years old now, and being told when I was so young that, hey, you're gonna have a rough time was not ideal. So, hello. Just know that, what are the crumpets? Just know that words matter. I've been told by tons and tons and tons of people that I'm weird, as I mentioned. And I want to begin to own it, but I also want people to know that it's okay to be weird. But when describing Tourette syndrome, these negative connotations can make or break you. It can really negatively affect you. It can be hard to hear this. So my advice to the viewers out there is, if you are dealing with Tourette syndrome or tic disorders, or like I said, if you're watching this for the heck of it, mind your words. So for example, on top of saying that Tourette's makes you different, you can add, but it has also helped me to become more empathetic, more sympathetic, more compassionate, more loving, more caring. There are so many positive connotations you can use to the word Tourette syndrome, and I wanted to make that clear because so many people say negative connotations about Tourette syndrome. Even the word funny sometimes can be a negative connotation. Like, I know that tics can sometimes be funny when you laugh with us but not at us, but some people have a negative kind of way of portraying this word. Some people say in their video titles, Tourette's funny, try not to laugh. And personally, that's hurtful. It's a negative word in a negative connotation for something that isn't inherently negative. And so words really do matter, guys. And I just wanted to make this video to talk to you guys about how important it is to mind what you're saying when talking about certain things, especially important things like Tourette syndrome. I just wanted to reiterate too, like, if you're a medical professional, it's probably not the best idea to immediately say to your client, hey, you're different and you're weird. Like, I don't know if that's just what happened to me. I don't know if anyone else shares that experience, but that was really weird and it was hard. Like, I was like, are you saying that my life is gonna be more challenging? And she was like, yeah. And it's like, as I said, Tourette's makes me me. It has a lot of positives as well as a lot of negatives, but I'm trying to focus on the positives because I'm a normal person too, except I tick like a clock. I can do normal things. I've held a job. I've gone to school. I'm in university. Like, I can do normal things and you guys can too, okay? So if someone says you're weird, if someone says you're different, if someone says you're funny or quirky or odd, like, it's okay to own it, but it's also okay to be like, you know what? No, I am compassionate, I am loving, I am kind, I am strong. Like, there are so many words you can say besides these negative ones. And I kind of wish doctors and other healthcare professionals and just people in general would be like, you know what? You have Tourette syndrome, but that will help you to become empathetic and help other people. Like, there are positives. I know people with Tourette syndrome are extremely creative. The part of their brain that is affected, I don't really know the scientific details, but a lot of us get relief out of creativity. And that's something that doctors didn't tell me. That's something that I've had to figure out on my own. Doctors were like, yeah, you're different. They didn't say, you're gonna be great at singing, you're gonna be great at music, you're gonna be great at art and photography. Like, no, they focused on the negatives. And so this is why words matter. There are so many important things that people with Tourette syndrome can contribute to society, and I want you guys to know that, because it has been a long journey for me to the road to acceptance and to the road of like, you know what? I'm okay with it, and I want you guys to get there too, and I don't want these negative words to get to you, because it's not ideal. You don't need people being like, yeah, you're weird, you're different all the time, instead of saying like, you're strong, you're compassionate, you're meaningful. Like, I don't want to sound again like a self-help person, but this is so true. Words matter. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I know this was a little bit of a lecture-y video, but I just wanted to let you guys know that like, this is important. Words matter, and people with Tourette syndrome are the same as everyone else, except we tick like clocks, and although it is a minor setback, we can do normal people things too. If you learned anything in this video, or if this video empowered you, I would be so genuinely appreciative if you would subscribe to my channel, because the goal of this channel here is to break the stigma surrounding Tourette syndrome and to let you guys know the real and raw truth about it. And the truth about it is, we're normal people too. So stop being mean and saying negative things. Like, we're cool. We have a few minor setbacks, but we're just normal too. So we're not always different, we're not always weird. And like I said, different is the new normal. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below saying hi, telling me what you want to see hello in future videos, or letting me know if you've ever been told any of these negative words about your condition and how you would like to combat that, because I genuinely think talking about the positives is the way to do so, but maybe you guys have a different idea. As always, we're learning together, we're laughing together, and we're ticking together. Have a great night, everyone, and stay safe.